Rather than doing an entire review on the last episode, I wanted to talk about spoilers. Now, I will do one when the English one drops, either it be just before the lovely Netflix release, but this is the one that I want to talk about right now. So let's drop into this. Spoilers, we're going to give you a little bit of time, and once that's done, we're going to talk about everything that's gone on in the episode, and this is containing the spoilers with clips. Anyway, let's jump into this.
A few moments later.
First of all, it says we get a recap of the last episode. Overhead view of the city and an explosion on the map. Tarek in the base and the Rangers look scared. Now, this part here, it's basically, they're not scared that Tarek's in there. They're scared of what's going to happen with Void Queen being in the cocoon. That is the thing. The Ravkonians fighting monsters and the Ranger appear. Now, this is something that they know that the sporks are being turned back and they're going back in. But I'm kind of curious on why they're not trying to keep the monster or trying to counter so they're not destroying it. Because it just seems that you're making each monster more powerful. So I'm hoping it's not oh crap, we've just realized, because I'd be like, what the hell? Monsters explode, but Sporix fly off. Void Queen in the cocoon looks like it's ready to pop. And that's true. Electricity and energy is kind of dropping off. It's falling off everywhere. So it's looking like it's going to explode. Zato wants to do something, but Tarek stops him, and he wants to do it. Zato gives Tarek the Dino Claw, which we do see, and we see a lovely version of Void Knight coming back, which I'm really excited about. I really generally like that. I think that's absolutely kind of fantastic the way that they did it. Void Knight morphs and Amelia hugs him. It was quite a nice scene. I think it would probably have been a little bit better if it was before he was in the armor. That's the thing there. He uses the energy to attack the cocoon. Everything vanishes, but Earth starts to shake. The Rangers morph. In a desert, Tarek is lying unmorphed with broken equipment. So when seeing that they teleport, I generally thought that they were going to teleport the entire thing. So rather than using the energy, using the teleporter to lock on and then teleport it wherever it needs to go. I did kind of think, why? It would make more sense doing it that way than the way that we got it. But obviously, they were able to teleport to the desert. It's weird. Hopefully, in English, it makes a bit more sense. Massive Void Queen. It's Eris with Void Queen controlling from inside. Now, I think all of this is absolutely fantastic how they're building up to it. I think it's one of my favorite scenes in Power Rangers, but we'll get to that very soon. Amelia tries to talk to her mother, but is shot at. Ollie protects. So I like the fact that Void Queen is just literally shooting everyone. Just nope. We see it a bit later on, but literally she's just no, you're not my daughter. You're lying, and just taking pot shots. But the energy that she's firing off is really powerful. So it's interesting why we didn't see this. Maybe it's because now she's powered up by Sporix or something. So I generally thought that she was just going to take pot shots at everybody and keep shooting until they all dodged and stuff. Tarek wishes them well. So Zord time. Void Queen fires again. Tarek wishes them well. Zords appear one by one in a mass lineup behind the Rangers. It's an amazing scene. So this one was definitely from Rear Soldier. It's the one with all of them looking about. And if you want to tell on the differences if it's Sentai or not, it's just look at the ground. Where the Rangers are in normal, there is loads of different sand. But for this one, it's there's just in the Sentai, it's a load of grass. So it was kind of interesting. It's a really nice scene. And I feel I think in the Rear Soldier, the Zords actually say, "We'll save you, don't worry, we'll take this on." I didn't realize Eris was that big. From all the photos that I've seen going around, I thought she was just normal size. I didn't realize that she was going to be a giant monster type thing. So seeing that sort of thing was absolutely fantastic. I actually really enjoyed it. The Megazords, they form 3 Megazords. Void Queen explodes the ground around the Rangers who attack Eris. Boom, Eris takes down Izzy Zord and Javi Zord. Saber Strike does nothing. Eris stands there and attacks her back. Rangers out of the Zords on feet. Dino Master Saber's called. So this part here, I really did enjoy the fight because normally you see that the Megazords are all kind of just one shots, they're able to take down the bad guys straight away. But when I kind of saw this, I like the fact that There was nothing that they could do. No matter what they kind of attacked, they weren't able to do anything. And that to me was absolutely spot on. So seeing stuff like this all the way through just made it a little bit extra for me. So I always like seeing Megazords get absolutely destroyed or absolutely defeated, because it just makes the whole story more enjoyable. You have the Rangers that are pretty much like they're able to win anything, but bam, soon as they get their backs on against the walls, that's it, they can't do anything. I absolutely love this one. Saber Strike does nothing. Ares stands out and attacks her back. Rangers are on Zord's feet. Dino Master Saber is called. Amelia tells him no to using the weapon. He tries it, but is shot by Ares. So again, a nice scene. Like, we know what it means. If they didn't, like, say no, like if Morphing Master Green didn't say anything, and it was just like, guess what? You're gonna be fine. I think they would have let it happen. It would have been more kind of dramatic. But I'm glad they're like, oh no, if you use this, then you're basically shot, and you will be killed effectively. And it kind of adds a bit more danger that everyone's trying to think of a different plan. And I think what they come up with next is absolutely perfect. The Ranger skydiving scene along Ares, henchmen appear on her back to swat it away. So all this is original footage, and I'm all here for it. I actually was looking at it going, nah, this can't be original. This has to be something from like Rear Soldier. But seeing like the whole thing was just perfect to me. I loved it. I loved that apparently there were callbacks to other things, like to other monsters and stuff, to different lines. And I think this is the reason why I'm waiting for the English one, so I can hear all about this. So I know I'm going to be like, oh, cool. I like this. I like that. That's amazing. But seeing all of this right now, all of this to me was absolutely perfect. I wholeheartedly enjoyed this scene, and it brought in a lot of danger. I like this. I like the fact that a lot of this is kind of happening and stuff like that. So seeing this entire brand new scene really called out and showed that a lot of work went into this. Izzy fires at Void Queen inside Ares. It's blocked. So I love the fact that rather than using their weapons, they grabbed the henchmen's weapons and threw it at Void Queen. I was like, damn, if that hit, but obviously it's not going to. The fight continues. Amelia. So I love this part here. Amelia helpless towards Void Queen. So I think they're all teleport in, and they wanted to kind of say, hey, yeah, like, we're going to make you think and you're going to destroy Ares and stuff like that. But no, it was more of a get out the way. And I think when the Rangers get hit and swatted down, it just makes this a bit like, you know, it's powerful. Although you kind of think they'd be a bit more hurt rather than anything, or even their clothes are a bit ripped. I think that would have been an added kind of touch to this. Rangers fall and demorph. Void Queen blasts Amelia. Zato on top of the Zord calls for her, and then Zords surround Ares. Mass Zord firings. Zords start to sparkle. All go into Zato's sword. So this was a nice scene, mainly because it shows that it's a massive power-up. And every single time that we've seen them use the strike or whatnot, or little things like that, you always think, is this the end of whoever uses it? But seeing that all the Zords go into the sword so he can use as an ultimate attack. And there's a scene when Zato is kind of flying, he's looking at Taramigo. And you know at this point, this is when he's saying like, goodbye, old friend. You know, and I think Zato actually says this to him. So it's kind of nice seeing like, you know, they've all gone into the sword, they're all fighting. So now it looks like there aren't any new Zords. Where are we? Rangers watching horror. Zato blasts, dripping apart Ares. Boom. Ares falls. Now, this is one thing that really kind of irked me in the episode, is that when Ares falls down and hits thing, I generally thought that would be it. Like, you know, it should blow up, and that's when Void Queen is like left in, going like, I'm going to defeat you type thing. But I generally was just like, oh, it's just lying there, so given time it could get up and attack. So Zato's sacrifice doesn't really mean anything, and it took Void Queen firing at the Ares to kind of blow up. Iron calls out for Zato. Javi consoles him. Void Queen escapes Ares. Tarek confronts her. She attacks again. Aerith still lying on the ground. Amelia runs to Void Queen, grabbing her and triggering her memories. Amelia searches for her parents, Aerith 62, the Wish, Rathcorn Horns, finding her dad. Void Queen fires and destroys Aerith, which I've talked about. Sparks fall as Void Queen disappears. It's Santana. Amelia runs to hug, so does Tarek. Morphing Masters appear, green, blue, and red, or green, red, and blue. They collect the Sporix. They're all in a crystal prison. Ion pleads for Zato. Morphing Masters give him a red crystal and disappear. Now, this is one thing I'm wondering what it's about, and I think this is the reason why I'm waiting for the English one so I can actually talk about it, because I feel like there should be more to it. It just feels like it's a plot like, oh, Zato will come back, or Zato will be reborn, you need to give him that. Santoro tries to apologize, they all teleport, and then Mucus is alive. I'm so glad they didn't get rid of Mucus. That is one thing I was hoping that they wouldn't. I'm not a big fan of Mucus, but I did feel like she got a bit of a bad deal at the end. Rathconians on Earth, Ares 62 being fixed by Pop Pop, Amelia, and the rest. Santana is pregnant. Rangers comms go off. This was kind of a nice scene. I think I kind of wanted a little bit more, but again, we're gonna wait for English. Izzy sets a new record for track and field. Ion owns a cafe. Izzy and Fern together. I did like Ion's his bakery. I think that was kind of nice. I think we've seen all the way through when he said oh, I want to try all these foods. So him opening up this kind of restaurant, this bakery, works perfectly for me. I generally really liked it. I like the kind of the signs and obviously everything, like the cakes that they make, but I'm guessing that they kind of changed the cake rather than just eating it and being oh, this is really horrible. So I'm guessing they've kind of tweaked the formula. Izzy set a new record on that. Ollie and Amelia arrive. Jane and Jayborg. Now they are talking because they've ordered food, so it's going to be quite interesting. And it says Angel Grove mentioned. Now I think what's happening is that Jane and Jayborg are going to open a Buzz Blast in Angel Grove, which I think would be a really nice thing. And hearing that name, I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I like this. It's absolutely fine. Man basically putting up posters, which is Dr. Cyrus, his circus, which is basically Slifer and Mucus, and I'm glad that they got away. So maybe they're off doing things, maybe they're coming back, who knows, but just seeing this really made me smile. So I'm really glad that they're still about. Maybe they could be the bad guys in Cosmic Fury, who knows, but there is so much kind of to take away from this episode. Jane and Jay bought cake. I didn't actually see that part. So there's a guy singing who basically is in there, which is basically the English version of the song that this guy ripped off from Harvey earlier. Base figure appears, removes helmets. It's Zato. They hug him. Morphing Masters revived him. He explains the mission. Lord Zed has escaped. Link to Morphic Grid. All Rangers together. Dino Fury power. Teleport and end. And that is it. That is the end of Dino Fury. And I've got to admit, I liked some of the elements in this. I feel like most of this was really, really cool. I think maybe a bit underwhelming a little bit, but for what we've got and reading these spoilers and actually watching the episode was actually quite a nice one. So yeah, I quite like all of this. I really want to review it in English because I really want to know what they all say, because I think there's going to be some good lines. So I generally really liked it. Those are all the spoilers. What did you think about all this? Have you seen this? If you've seen it all on Twitter, let me know down below in the comments. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, I will catch you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。